Coming to you live from an undisclosed location. Here is your host, the one and only Flint Rasmussen.
Welcome, everybody. Another episode of According to Flint, wherever you may be watching, whether it's right here, Pluto on Ride Pass on Pluto or social media, YouTube, however you are watching, welcome to another show. And just finishing up a big weekend in Austin, Texas, keeping Austin weird as always. And they're very proud of keeping Austin weird. Austin, a great location. And as far as I could tell from my experience in the airport, the hotel, and the arena, things are pretty nice in Austin these weekends, and that is why we are there. Some of them not much getting out and about, busy schedules, and that's how it should be. But the red carpet was rolled out by the Austin Gamblers and that organization in the PBR Teams organization. Big weekend there in Austin, Texas. Look, see, representing, coming off of a trip to the University of Texas, representing the Longhorns. Don't know that I've ever been a huge fan of the University of Texas, but I'm not a fan. Not a fan. So that I don't know if that makes me a fan. Anyway, connections there I'll talk about later, but it was good. The brand new Moody Center there on the campus of the University of Texas. We had been to Texas a few years ago in the old basketball arena. Can't remember what it was called. As it sits there now, I can't decide if it looks like a nuclear reactor facility or a concrete bunker. The old arena, not the new arena. Moody Center is beautiful. Right by the football stadium, the track and soccer stadium. So great weekend there. Facility-wise, just as good as you can get. Labor Day weekend coming up. I have the weekend off, the PBR down at the King Ranch in South Texas for their Cowboys for a Cause event for some VIPs down there. I believe, I know I should know this, and when it will be televised on CBS or CBS Sports Network. I myself am taking a weekend off. Labor Day weekend, when I think of Labor Day weekend, and I talked a couple of weeks ago about when you get into August and the great rodeos up in the Northwest, Labor Day weekend, historically, another great weekend. I used to say this in the past in other shows I did, back when I had a radio show. 4th of July is Cowboy Christmas from the sheer volume and numbers of rodeos, Western events. But Labor Day is in itself as important and influential weekend of rodeos and money won, I think, of any time of the year. When I think of Labor Day, I think of when I first started in rodeo. First of all, as a kid in Montana, White Sulphur Springs, Montana, the Spa Hotel, Hot Springs. My dad announced that rodeo for 30-some years. We spent Labor Day there. And the 3 channels in the Spa Motel, they all had the Jerry Lewis telethon on there for muscular dystrophy. We just sit and watch telethon and swim and go to the rodeo. But then in my career, Dillon, Montana, Filer, Idaho, ended up going to Walla Walla, Washington a couple of years. I remember the day Princess Diana got killed in the car wreck. I was driving down Main Street of Walla Walla, Washington at the rodeo. And then ended up, of course, later in my career going to the great rodeo in Ellensburg, Washington. And lucky enough to be in the Hall of Fame there. So Labor Day, big weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe catching some of my girls roping and things like that. But big weekend in Austin. Let's take a look. Team-wise, we are looking at Carolina Cowboys get the win in Austin. Sort of an upset of the Austin Gamblers. They defeated them. It came down to the wire. Jose Vitor Leme slapped a bull early in his ride, which is surprising. Guess what, everybody? This just in. Jose, human. He's a human. So Carolina gets the win in Austin. The overall season standings, Austin Gamblers still up at the top. Arizona Ridge Riders, who are still riding a lot of bulls, and then the Carolina Cowboys towards the end of the season. It's going to really come down to it for those teams. You can see the rest of the teams there. Kansas City hanging on, Oklahoma, Texas, and Nashville. Are we being straight here? Analysts review. Disappointing. Oklahoma, they got Chase Outlaw back. They did look better. Briggs Madsen, the young guy catching a groove. Chase Outlaw with a ride or two. They had a good lineup. Poor Jess Lockwood, a fluke accident getting on a practice bull, tears his knee up. He's out again. Has nothing to do with his heart, his try. If anything, he tries too hard. But getting off a practice bull and tore his knee up. So feel bad. I was ready for Jess Lockwood to come back. Speaking of individuals, I like the MVP standings. Who is carrying their team? Whose shoulders are getting tired from carrying their team? Serious question, though. Maybe a rhetorical. Austin Gamblers. By the way, Matt West going to join me after the break. Live arena announcer, TV announcer. Maybe I'll ask him this. At what point does Jose Vitor Leme get tired of not carrying the team? They're riding well, but always being put in that situation of, hey, win this for us. A lot of guys thrive on it. He thrives on it, but it's exhausting. Dalen, there it is. Jose, Dalen, Luciano, all of those guys, first round draft picks. Coming in at 9, he's sneaking in there. Kaiki Pacheco, Boudreaux, and Mason looking good. The shocker, here's my deal. The shocker of that list, Ezekiel Mitchell. Great job, Zeke. Dang it. That guy, every once in a while, Zeke needs a kick in the ass and a little guidance once in a while. And we love him. He's a great-hearted kid, and it's great to see him doing well. We like to see that. Matt West going to join me. We'll talk about all of that, get his take on the season so far, cover a lot of things later in the show, but we're going to take a little break. First of all, this word from our pals at Pendleton Whiskey. Welcome back to another episode of According to Flint, and let's get right to it. Let's cut the small talk. Let's get right down to the meat and potatoes. Welcome to the big show. My longtime friend, not old, Mr. Matt West. Matt, please fill us in on at what Wrangler store you go to where they cut the sleeves. They're different. They're smaller on your arms. I have that shirt and mine are loose. I don't know where you get those. But
I really think that what happens is they make these to send to Oklahoma, and they're not used to having sleeves. So at the last minute, they just grab whatever's laying there and throw them on the side just in case somebody in Oklahoma wants to wear sleeves.
They just throw the faulty sleeves on the ones to Oklahoma because they know you're going to cut them off anyway. So
yeah, that's right. I mean, I just pulled the tags off this one, or they'd be gone.
Hey, also, before we went on the air, right over your left shoulder, grab what you have displayed in your office. What do you have? Show us. Oh,
that is an event-worn arena used Rasmussen cleat.
Those are the old silver. Hold those up to the camera. Those were good shoes. There's a reason. Those are turf or indoor soccer shoes with absolutely zero support in them. Matt, that is why my feet hurt right now. That is what's wrong. That's what's wrong with my legs.
I love it. I got it next to my autographed Brett Favre jersey because I'm such a Green Bay Packer.
Yeah, right. I'll name a price. Okay. Hey.
Okay.
My word for you is balance. You are, to me, a rare person that has pulled off a live event announcing and now TV, not only at separate times. You got to get a feel every once in a while. We pipe in the TV broadcast to the arena. You're kind of holding that together. I admire what you're doing on the broadcast and in arena.
The cool thing about it is it's a challenge. And everybody has their ideas of how things should work. At the end of the day, we go out and execute what told to do. And fortunately for me, I've been on both sides of the fence now. So I am, fans that buy a ticket to be inside that audience from us as a team, but I also understand what the television audience expects and what our leadership expects. And so I've been very fortunate to be in roles. Feel like I've been in a bunch of roles this season already, but yeah, it's fun. It's a challenge for me. And so, me, like when it's a tall mountain, that's when I really want to dig in and try to climb. And so it's tough, but it's been fun. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I can tell, we'll all of a sudden, you guys know when all of a sudden you're getting piped in the live arena. And I've said, Kate Harrison, who we all just love, is doing such a great job. But in essence, she didn't really hire on in her career to be a live event announcer. She's a TV announcer. Right. And with you beside her, you can hear when it's going into the live arena. And I can sense when you take over and now you're not speaking just to TV, but you're speaking to the people in those seats too. And it's different. It's way different.
If you go to a concert, a lot of times you'll see, the artist pop that earpiece out. And, a lot of people are like, well, why'd they do that? They're not going to be able to hear. I constantly pull mine out, just to listen to the audience in front of us. And so I'll keep mine kind of to the side so I can hear what you guys are talking about, hear what my producers are saying, and try to kind of blend it all together when I get a chance. So I kind of know the tone and the tempo that you guys are setting in the arena, and I try to stay as close to it as I can without making it look like two drastically different shows. So
yeah,
it's fun.
Well, am I setting the tone in the live arena or am I setting the tone on TV? What day are you?
It depends. But that's what's funny is like, okay, what you're saying about me exponentially about you, because I don't know that anybody in their lifetime has ever went from wearing a sports coat to 3 minutes later running through the gate into the arena as the greatest entertainer of all time, and the jersey, the makeup, and to be able, in all seriousness, to be able to switch roles, because as well as I do, when you prepare to do one thing in midstream, if all of a sudden you have to go attack a different job, it's not. I get frustrated when people go, oh, you just dance around, listen to music, or you go out there and you be funny. No, you spend all getting ready to step into that arena to do your job. Same as we all do. And when you've prepared to do one role, that's what you put all your effort and energy into. And for you to be able to switch like that and just go back out there, it's find me somebody else that can do that.
I'm telling you, I'm tired, boss. Heck, we could have a real job. So, we're good.
I don't know that anybody hired me to do anything real.
Yeah, me either. A couple things I talked about in segment 1 that I wanted to bring up to you. We know that Jose Vitor Leme rises to the occasion in points of pressure. But at one point, at what point does it wear on him? You guys, win this before I go. There's a lot put on that guy.
There is, but thankfully, he's getting a lot of help from Ezekiel Mitchell. Zeke has been perfect in the number 1 spot. Every time he has been the first rider, he's done his job. They switched him up. I think it was he had ridden 2 in a row, and then they switched him over to the number 2 spot. And I looked at JJ Gotch and basically said, "What are you doing?" And they subsequently moved him back immediately the next day. He's never bucked off in that number 1 spot. So Jose's getting the help finally. That's a scary, scary team. The crazy thing is Jose had a chance and bucked off, and so now you're starting to question, man, I wonder if he would have got on that bonus bull, what would have happened? And so Kate and I were doing this Monday morning Instagram live. My question is, why didn't he get on that bonus bull? Was he hurt? Was he frustrated? Was it to get somebody else opportunity? I want to know the answer to those questions.
Well, I thought, hey, I'll float this out there. I felt like on Sunday, backstage behind the chutes and watching guys ride, I felt like guys seemed tired. It just in general, listen, on a normal, if you have an Unleash the Beast tour event and it's a 3-day event, if everything goes completely a rider's way, they get on 4 bulls. Jose's been getting on 4 bulls every weekend. Yep. He is human. He is kind of, sort of.
And a 3-day weekend in this teams format is long, especially when you have a Saturday night where you do a CBS broadcast that takes a little bit longer. You do, the 3 games beforehand. So some of these nights do get really long. For Austin, they did things different. They spent all day out in the community. They were, with fans. They really capitalized on having a home market. And so they spent all week as a team doing different things. They spent even game days going out with the fans and their families and stuff. And that wears on a guy. It has to. When you spend so much energy not focusing on riding bulls, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. It's amazing what they're doing in that community, but there was a lot of pressure on them to win this weekend. And I think you could see it kind of in the back hallways.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some extras there that definitely can take it out of you really quick. You already touched on topic number 2 I was going to talk about. And that's Ezekiel Mitchell. I said in segment 1, he needs somebody on his ass once in a while. He's that guy. Yeah. He's that guy that's benefiting. We've always known he had it. There was a time last season he was doing very little correctly riding bulls. Right. Now he's an athlete. Now he's doing it correctly. The guy's amazing.
For Zeke, it's all between the ears. It's 100% mental for him. He's got the talent. He's got the athletic ability. Every once in a while, he needs to be reminded how good he can be and get that little confidence. And I think that, one, being signed as a free agent, sitting next to Jose, getting that championship rub, if you will, there's when you're around guys like that, you get a little bit of that aura and you start to just learn from him. I know Zeke has told me just being around that guy has made him a better human. It's made him a better bull rider. And then when you look at the lineups, if they put Zeke in the number 1 spot and just let him go, get it out of the way, he doesn't have to think about it, show up, get his job done, and then move on to cheering on everybody else. That is the perfect scenario for him to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I know as far as moving guys around, we're about out of time here, but like coaches across the land in every sport, especially football, I see it. Don't outthink yourself. Just do what works. Don't outthink yourself. Anyway, well, listen, I'm going to go home and pull my Wrangler ATG black and gray shirt out and make sure the sleeves are okay. Yeah, not the sleeves. I haven't lifted yet today. That's why mine's loose. Matt, you're the best, old buddy. I'll see you in North Carolina. I'm off this weekend, but I'll see you North Carolina. Thanks for your time as always.
Always, man. Anything for you, buddy.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Hey, we'll be right back after this quick break.
As rural Americans, we have a unique understanding of and connection to the land. Whether we ranch, farm, log, or simply recreate, what we do today determines our tomorrow. As stewards of the land, it's our duty to ensure that our children and grandchildren can enjoy the outdoors in a similar manner that was afforded us. Join the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation and ensure the future of elk, other wildlife, their habitat, and our hunting heritage. Visit rmef.org today.
Thanks to Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. Always a huge presence here with everything according to Flint, and a huge presence in the Western sports world. Always been around with great events at the PBR World Finals and also at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, as they have their Cowboy Christmas is downstairs. Hunter Outdoor Christmas upstairs. We are once again this year giving a trip away to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. By we, I mean all of us here at According to Flint. You can register now. Registration is open, I believe, at flintrasmussen.com on our website. The trip includes a couple tickets to one night, plaza tickets to one night of the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, 2 nights of a room at an NFR sponsored hotel property, a little VIP experience at my talk show Outside the Barrel. So it's a great giveaway. Check it out again, flintrasmussen.com. You can register to win that to go to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Also, new podcast out as you watch this show Thursday morning. So tomorrow morning, as you watch this live, new podcast, According to Flint, available 8 a.m. Mountain Time. We post all of the links everywhere podcasts are available. Lucas Teodoro just has become a very good friend, one of our great U.S. Border Patrol bullfighters, and Brazilian, the first Brazilian bullfighter to fight bulls at the World Finals. So check that out. Lucas Teodoro, a funny guy. You may not know that. He used to sit in the corner and giggle. Now he's funny. So all of that, lots of great things happening. I am sporting a little Texas swag coming off of Austin, University of Texas. We're on campus. Spent some time in the football facility. It's good to see small town guys do well. Good friend of mine from college, from tiny St. Mary's, Idaho, my good friend Jeff Choate, who is now linebackers coach and co-defensive coordinator of the Texas Longhorns, former head coach at Montana State University. Bevo is everywhere, by the way. That's Bevo of the Longhorn. That's me and Choate. We look exactly the same as we did in college. Great to get a tour of the Texas Longhorn football facility. Let me tell you something. We have no idea. Like, somebody said to me, boy, those football players, do they come in a little earlier than the regular students? I'm like, hell, they never leave, man. So got to go in the stadium, I think it's just Memorial Stadium there at University of Texas. Lot of history. That Texas football program, huge history there. And so thanks to Coach Choate, his wife Janet, coming to the event on Friday night. Also, speaking of Montana State, I do have the weekend off. So let me tell you where I'm going to be right here. Bobcat Stadium, right. It doesn't seat 100,000 people like the stadium in Texas. But look at the gold, everybody. It's the Gold Rush game. Now, if you look really close, I don't think I can zoom in. We can't zoom in on that, can we? Oh, wait. Here, we're trying. If you can look really close, way up in the top left-hand corner, see those 4 girls on horseback? Look at us just floating out some technology right away. See the first 2 girls on horseback? You're perfect, Logan. Shelby in the lead, Paige following those first 2 girls. Those are my girls that just led the team out. Oh, Taylor Moinkins and Lindsay Pulsifer. Those are the other 2 girls. That is where I'm going to be this weekend. Gold Rush game. You know what? I do love going to football games. Really, I'm a fan of live events. And I think we go to live events to get a different experience than we can anywhere else. And the point is to leave energized and inspired and full of joy and glad you did something. And my escape, people ask me, performing and stuff, what do I love to do? I love to go to something like that and just observe the energy and the joy that is brought to people at a live event. I possibly on the sidelines, I just love to watch people and their interactions with each other, whether they know each other or not. Everybody's a family when you're in a stadium like that. That is what brings me joy, and that's what I like to do in my time off. So my next event will be in Winston-Salem, North Carolina for the Carolina Cowboys Teams event. Have a great Labor Day weekend off, everyone. Enjoy some days off. See you next time.